Hello everyone, this is a tutorial video today. Yeah, I haven't done one of those in a long while. This is for the Goddess Tree side progression found in version 6.0. The basis of it is that you run through a labyrinth. It's more like a straight path, really. You just pick where you want to go to collect bonus orbs or birth orbs. You start it from this guy here. The area that it's in is within the Angel Holy City on the east side of it. You have to go down some platforms to get to it. You speak to that guy there, run through it once, and then you're able to talk to this guy here after you speak with him. You collect these orbs to grow your Goddess Tree. And by growing your Goddess Tree, you can eventually get about 16 points to all your stats. As you can see on the right side there, I got 3 to HP, MP, Might, Bending, Strength, Resilience, all that stuff. 1 point of Resilience is 1 point of Defense, by the way. So, you basically get these orbs, you bring them over to Angel Soil there. That's a pun right there. And you use those orbs to grow each individual stat of your tree. And every time you grow them, it takes a certain amount of real-life hours to grow. I think right now it's taken about 30 real-life hours to basically grow it before you can feed it an orb again to grow it further. This is, one of VQX's long-term side progression content, along with many of the others. But once you have it completed, you're basically just done for good, and you're really only going in there to maybe get some gold orbs, some side rewards that you can get. But you're basically in there for that. Now, each week, you get 10 explorations. I've already used 2 of them. When you complete your first exploration, though, you get a rainbow log, which turns into 20 orbs, usually per fight, either 4-man, 8-man, or the new 12-man. You get a log that only gives you about 3 orbs. For many players, they'll just run it once and just do it that way. Run through it once, get their bonus 20 orbs and whatever orbs they collect along the way. And then they just come back the next week and do it again. It's much slower doing it that way, and it will take a lot more time to max out your tree if you decide to do it that way, but at least you'll get there eventually. So it takes you into a room like this. I'm going with my weekly clearing configuration. Basically 2 demons, a priest, and a druid. That's what I use for a lot of weekly or daily content. However, it is advised that for the 12-man bosses, because Square Enix felt that there's too many demon players, they decided to give them a high amount of deep dark resistance. So it puts me at a disadvantage, but I can still clear through it and still do decent enough damage since I'm using Greatsword instead of Scythe. But it still puts me at a disadvantage, so it's recommended that you use a vocation that isn't Paladin or Demon Swordmaster, which are my 2 mains. And my Druid isn't really ready to go yet, so I can't really use that. So, if I wanted to, I can go left or right. If I go right, it gets me a stat statue, which gives me a random boost to my abilities. Though, if you do the fight, very often that also gets you a stat statue and of course a red log. Some players will just avoid all fights and just go straight for the boss itself just to get their 20 log and leave. It's the quickest way to do it if you just want to get it done and get out. So we're going to go for the fight. Now I can go with others or I can go with the current party. Let's go with others for this one. Huh. Well, let's just go with the party, I guess. It's not really a good time in Japan right now. I think it's like 5 a.m., 4 a.m. in the morning for them. Hopefully the 8-man won't be a problem. It acted twice. I really gotta get rid of that Master Orb because it's just a hindrance. So after a win, or in certain rooms, you find this. Though the red logs are what give you birth orbs. Then, when you find one of these rotating pillars here, you can select a buff. Skill spell damage is nice. Damage taken is also pretty good. I think I'll go with the damage since I'm at a disadvantage. Now, if I want to, I can go left to get some gold, money. Don't really care for money right now. Or I can go right and just get another orb. Ah, so that explains it. Wonder why he did it like that. yes, you can dodge the laser beam. The green dragon has a similar ability. So, I can either go left or right from here. The left one will give a gold Alchemy Orb. Actually, while I'm at it... Let's see, where is that ability at? There it is. That causes me nothing but trouble. See, there's not many selections I can get right now. I really need to go after a few of these things. Lots and lots to do. Alright. Alright, let's go for the gold here. I'm pretty sure it is money. Find out event in a bit. Alright, so now this is going to be the 8-person battle. So we're going to see if people are actually doing this right now. If not, kind of screwed. And I'll have to just go right. So, one of the downsides to this content is that if you're not in JP time, there's no special event going on, or it's next expansion later, you may get stuck, unable to do this content. It's probably going to get progressively worse, and it'll get to a point to where you can really only do it on the weekly reset, when a bunch of JP players are just getting on to get their 20 orb, and that's it. So, if this doesn't go through and I don't see, like, it's finding other members, I'm going to try going right, and hopefully there's people still grinding on the boss, or big boss. Now, the problem is, you can't leave with this stuff unless you defeat the big boss at the end. Thankfully, though, to balance the content out, I think the big boss at the end is also shared with those doing them for the custom ring side progression line. I think SC did it that way to balance it out, so that way there's always people doing at least the end boss for either one of the content. I'll have to look more into that later, make a tutorial on that. Okay, looks like I found somebody, so let's just wait. Alright, so let's go ahead to the east instead. Rather have the movement speed. Now the green log should be an Alchemy Orb. Okay. As I thought, there's people running this all the time because the ring, I believe, also has it. They basically share the same boss, and it'll pull from a pool of players from doing either one. Square Enix honestly really thought ahead with that. Hopefully, though, somebody does come up. There we go. So, this is a 12-person fight. I believe this is the first time they did this. New with 6.0. Unlike the other fights, you are timed on this. It's not on a rage timer. He's not going to just wipe everybody out. It's just going to end the battle and you have to try again. Death healer. Okay. And the particular boss that you get each week will change. Now, thankfully, the Clarity team has translated their attacks. Holy shock. Puts random shocks on random members. Core Flash does that. If you get too close to somebody that has Holy Shock on them, it's going to hit you too. Over Spark. It's going to fill out the ring of this room, killing everybody. Like so. He doesn't do that often. Sometimes he'll do it back to back. Generally, you want to wait between turns to see what he does first before you attack. Okay, you just did a physical attack there. Or a Spark. Death is down. Hopefully she will revive him. There we go. Gaia's Wrath puts random Earth AoEs around. 8 gates. That's worse than the 4. Fallen Halo's gonna put AoEs down across these paths at intervals, like so. Eight gates again. Guess I'm the only one with Disruptive Wave here. The only advantage a Demon Swordmaster really has here is I can take away his buffs if I have to. Sage can too, if there's a Sage in the 12-man group. They're not played much. Okay, Holy Shock's on me, so now they have to stay away from me. Looks like my group just went somewhere. But now you see why I picked the movement speed. Just makes getting out of this stuff a lot easier. Meditation, he heals himself. He's got another one like that. Ah, shoot. I'm gonna get hit by this. Yep. And that particular breath, he does like 2 different breath attacks. That's generally why you want breath resistance for this guy. Yes, you will see a person counter up on the top that tells you how many are still alive for each group. So once he gets to low health, he's going to start covering the parts of the arena in black magic, forcing everybody to move to another section. Now he's dead. That was weird. Huh. I was like right out of it. Eight gates. Even if you have Gold Rosary or some sort of death prevention, 8 gates will hit you 2 to 3 times to make sure you're dead. That's what happened to that guy. That's about to kill me because I mistimed. So, basically, to sum it up, and everybody's going to take risks and take the deaths because you got to kill them as fast as you can because you're on that timer. Now that I've got to the end here, I can now turn them in to see what they come up with. Gold nugget, a little bit of gold. Experience orb scrolls. So you can basically get with the green item bag experience scrolls with gold nuggets. I think the purple is an alchemy stone. Experience scrolls aren't so bad. You can place them on a vocation that you don't care to level. Then of course the red logs give you the birth orbs. Now what I can do is I can keep going and I can fight the boss again for another orb. Now, generally, you only want to do this if, one, you've gotten some good enhancement boosts. In this particular case, I don't have 4 enhancement boosts, but they're pretty decent anyway. Or 2, you just want to grind it out. So if you decide you want to grind it out, you can just keep fighting the boss over and over and over and over. It's honestly, though, it's going to take you many hours grinding the boss to get enough of the birth orbs to be able to grow all of your trees to the max level without having to do this again. But the option's there. The event you want to just get it over with. Or you just feel like doing a few boss fights. So let's go ahead with this again. This time we're going to go silent here. Well, that just killed 2 right off the bat. And if my healers don't heal me, well, I can't survive these attacks. Because, yes, he will occasionally, he's going to turn to you and do a single target physical attack on a random person. And if you're not a tank or healed up, you're not going to survive it. Pretty much that was the priest's failing on that one. Or a spark, I'm going to get hit by it. Also, those origin stones. Now, the point of them is when you hit them, they'll do a random effect. They may revive people. I believe they may put a damage resistance or do damage on him. Ah, nice hitting me with both of these, huh? Yeah. Priest did get my health up. Nothing you do about that one. In fact, that's weird I was even hit by it. Or the party members of my party were hit by it. He was facing a completely different direction. No choice there. I had to basically lead away from the party so they don't get hit by it. Well, it looks like they all died anyway. Then he decides to turn in my direction and use that. And then he does that. Wow, this one's a mess. Died because nobody was able to give it any heals. He will throw heals on himself when he can. I think it's on a charge timer and only when he's at low health. He's got 2 different heals to throw on himself. Let's cover this part of the arena now. you're wondering about training stamps, once you're max level, you can opt to convert all XP to training stamps to get you extra skill points. It's kind of useless since there's more than enough skill points in the game from books and such that you don't even need training stamps to get 4 skills to 200. But just in case, I'm doing it in the event that they raise the skill cap to 250 and add something new. So now I got another log. Decrypt it. Another 3 birth orbs. So now I'm going to do the fight again. This time it'll be fully silent. Just so you guys can basically be able to watch this. Hopefully I won't get BS'd so many times again. Because it doesn't matter how perfect you play, you're going to die at the very least at least once. Alright, if you're lucky. It's just, you can't really risk. You have to pretty much pull risks to do damage, because if you're constantly waiting for their next attack, you're not doing damage, the time is going to run down. Alright, let's see if we can go again. Alright. So, when you're done and you just don't want to grind anymore, just hit finish search. Give me one moment, please. Alright. So, that's basically what that is. Now, the fights are honestly easy, especially if you're a Final Fantasy XIV player or World of Warcraft player, or played both. The only problem with it is the animation lock, which honestly, there's not much you can really do about it. And the thing is, you can't really just keep sitting around waiting for an attack to come up to then dodge out of it, go back in to attack, because then you're just wasting time. And the fight is really pushing you to kill as soon as possible. And I have seen a few failures where people just kept waiting too much to attack, and then the timer just runs out. Usually it's killed with like at least 2 to 4 minutes left, but sometimes I've seen it as low as 30 seconds. Due to people just constantly dying from just going all out and not avoiding the attacks at all. So you really have to pretty much find a balance and push through and take a risk depending on how much health he's got left. So, once you have the orbs, or you're ready to grow your tree, you speak to Angel Soil here. This is my current tree right now. I have it set to the Winter Fiend. It's a little bit of fluff that you could do if you want to. This autumn, spring, summer. Change it to spring. Autumn's more my thing since September's my birth month, so... But I like spring best. So, once you're ready to grow, as you can see here, I have the fence level 3 that's growing to level 4. Once it's level 4, I get another +1 resilience permanently to all my vocations. It's going to finish around that time. It's a Japanese time, so I think it's like an entire day, maybe more. So, right now I got 17 birth orbs because I ran through it once and did the boss 3 times. Right now to go to level 4, it takes 5 birth orbs. When you're starting out, from level 1 to level 2, it takes 3 orbs. And from 2 to 3, it takes 4 orbs. So the number's just going to keep rising, and it's going to require you to honestly do more and more of the labyrinth just to be able to grow the tree 1 level. And I've noticed from a lot of players that I would recruit in my party that many of them focus on specific trees or to do a balanced spread. It's really up to you. If you're willing to put in the time to grind, do a balanced spread, sure. But here's the other issue. Now, let's say that you just want to go for strength, deafness, and life. because you play a battle master. You could do that. Only problem is that if you focus on just 2 or 3 stats, you may not be able to grow your tree rank. Because you see, there's a garden rank. My rank is 2 right now, so now I can put all my any one of these stats to level 8 if I want to. Alright. But that's it. I can't go beyond level 8 unless my garden rank goes up. And to raise your garden rank, you just have to raise multiple trees. Now, of course, I haven't been able to test it out fully yet, but I suspect that you get a garden rank probably every, I'm guessing somewhere around maybe level 20 or 25 levels worth. Actually, no, maybe more like around 15 to 20 levels. So if you wanted to, you could probably raise at least 5 or 6 stats and keep raising the rank that way. But I think ultimately you're going to have to just raise them all eventually. So for my case, I will probably work on strength, defense, life, and weight. Since those are the 4 that's important to me as a paladin. And then once they're done growing, I can basically grow them again. But of course, I have to get more birth orbs. So you see, you can go about this at any pace you want. You could just run through the gauntlet once and get the 20 bonus orbs along with the 6 to 12 extra orbs you get from the end of it, depending on what you do. Just run it once a week and do it that way. Of course, if you do it that way, it's going to take forever to max out all the stats. Or heck, it'll take a long time just to max out your chosen 3 stats if you're going that way. Alternatively, you can also just do all 10 runs per week, and without only fighting the end boss just once per run. You do it that way, you'll get about, excluding the bonus 20, about, depending on what you do, 3 to 12 orbs a run. You do that and use up all your runs. I mean, not only do you get those XP scrolls if you go for them or this other stuff, but you'll get enough orbs to really push it along at least. So long as you just do all your 12. Or you can do the method I mentioned before, just keep fighting the end boss and just do it, keep doing it. It's probably going to get boring for you eventually, you'll get tired of it if you do it too much, but that's an option if you really want to just grow your goddess tree and get it over with and be done with it. As for me, I'm probably going to come back and do it every now and then. I'm going to make sure I do it at least once a week, and then maybe do 2 or 3 more runs, maybe a couple of bosses. Depends on my mood. But I will eventually max this out. There are a lot of Japanese players who don't even do this at all. They just don't ignore it completely. But then they're missing 16 to all stats. Actually, it's a little bit more than that, isn't it? Not 16. Yeah, each one of these is 16. Keep in mind, 16 all stats is almost the equivalent of gaining like 3 to 5 levels. On average, around 4 or 5 levels of extra stats. So, in comparison. So, it's worth doing. Translation team must have went and hand translated that. And yes, as you grow it, your garden is going to look different. It's going to look bigger too, I think. Probably why there's all this screen space around. So it's pretty cool. And that is Goddess Garden. If you have any questions, just let me know in the Discord, and I will see you next time.